The biggest strategic threat we face in the world today is global poverty and inequality. The budget is the government's primary economic tool to improve the lives of its poorest citizens. The International Budget Partnership works with partners in over 100 countries to make sure that the public resources that governments have available are directed to those that need them the most. Together, we have enough money to end extreme poverty globally.
I'm Yara Pietrikowski. I'm a human rights activist. My organization, INESC, works to monitor the national budget.
I'm Paul Divakar. I'm a Dalit human rights activist. And it's an appalling condition that Dalits face.
My name is Zaki Ahmed. I'm a social justice activist. In 1998, I co-founded the Treatment Action Campaign because I live with HIV and because almost 1 in 8 people in South Africa live with HIV.
Most Dalits in India are still treated as untouchables. We get the worst horrifying jobs. The poverty rate is highest among Dalits and literacy rates are very low. When we assert our rights as per the Constitution, there is a severe backlash in the way the government allocates resources. Institutional discrimination that exists even through the budgets. We thought budgets were very neutral.
A few years ago, we discovered that the Brazilian government was trying to present a new bill on taxation system that would slash the money for social programs. A lack of money for education, public education, health, and many other programs that are very important for the poor of the country.
In 2010, while government was preparing for the Commonwealth Games, we have come across huge amounts of money to the extent of $150 million. The government felt compelled to take the resources away which should have gone to social services and other utilities for the development of the Dalits to building huge stadiums.
The ANC was in government. I had joined it when I was in prison in 1980. Yet now, the ANC government refused access to antiretroviral treatment because our president, Thabo Mbeki, did not believe that HIV caused AIDS. Years of struggle, of civil disobedience, of going to the courts, we came to understand the importance of economics and the budget.
Governments raise and spend public money, that's our money, to provide health services, welfare services, and education that's required by all citizens, but especially by those that are poor and marginalized. In all the countries that IBP works, we have witnessed how when citizens, civil society organizations, and the media get involved in budget discussions, there's a greater likelihood that the decisions that the government reaches are fair, and there's a greater chance that the resources that the government spends actually reach those people that it's meant to reach.
What we have done was organize and articulate with many other groups of the Brazilian society in order to press for a new way, a new thought in terms of taxation system. Taxation is a very difficult issue.
Siguen no claros, ¿no? Equidad, igualdad, estamos hablando de la misma cosa. Lo que significa desarrollo sostenible.
People don't know how to make the linkage with their lives, their difficulties, and the way government are using or misusing the money, the public money.
In the end, the courts ruled that government had to provide mothers with antiretroviral treatment. This meant thousands and thousands of babies' lives were saved. It also meant that we had to struggle to access antiretrovirals not only for mothers and women, but for every person in South Africa. Today, 2.5 million people are on antiretroviral. I believe that every activist should understand a budget, the economics of society, and ensure that communities understand it.
When we equipped ourselves with the tools of analyzing budgets, of looking at how the fund flows take place, we found that this money should have gone to the Dalits, and then we released it to the press to the extent that the government felt pressurized to declare that what it has done is really indeed not right, and returned the money. And over the next year, it has returned 80% of the money that it has diverted. Once the policy and the budgets are analyzed, and put together, then you have a tremendous amount of empowerment. And in our experience, this has really changed the lives of Dalits, and it has empowered them to claim their rightful resources.
Together, these three elements, information, skills, and opportunity, can unlock our potential to transform the world. At the International Budget Partnership, we work with citizens, civil society organizations, and the media around the world to make sure that we hold governments accountable for the ways in which they spend public money. We know that stories from Tanzania, from South Africa, from India, Indonesia, need not be the inspiring exception. They can be the norm. With open budgets together, we can transform lives.